Leo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-January 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you beautiful people out there. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in energy and see what's happening for the lovely Leo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My God, Spirit Team, talk to me. What do we got for Leo gang in mid-January 2025? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Leo, please. Mid-January. We got the new year starting. We're rocking and rolling. What is the vibe for my good friends? What is the vibe in 2025? There we go. Thank you. Lovely. Okay, so we're starting here with this High Priestess-esque type of energy, which can be really good. It's a very lovely, spiritually based type of card, but it does link to a little secrecy, or it could also be someone's intuition. There's a lot of positives here. But before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. Now, again, this is an oracle deck. It's not the tarot, but this woman and a lot of the surrounding symbolism does remind me a lot of the High Priestess. So we see this elder, divine, feminine figure. She is standing there in front of a crystal ball. Notice that there is a key within the crystal ball. Notice that there's a lockbox next to her. So it does imply that she has some sort of secret knowledge or sacred knowledge. Now, when it comes to the High Priestess, the good stuff about her, she is highly spiritual, highly intuitive. I always say she's the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers. So for some of you, this could just represent a very keen interest in absorbing a lot of spiritual experience or spiritual information, which can be good. But for some of you, this could be spirit saying like, hey, Leo, you need to trust your gut about something. You need to trust your intuition, because something could be pulling at those strings when this card shows up. Now, I do also link her to Pisces, the zodiac sign, if you're linked to one. But a big thing I always say about the High Priestess, she is very hush-hush. There's an energy of secrecy connected to her as well. So we're going to see if those themes show up within the reading itself. So whether it's something you're not quite sure about, something you don't quite know, we'll see if it shows up in the reading. But we're just going to let her chill right there for now. Let's get into tarot. And I always say that first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. Shuffled up one time here for the lovely Leos in mid-January. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. And I will say this, for the past couple of weeks, out of all the fire signs, it seems like the Leo energy has had some things to look out for. Last week's reading was titled Beware of This Person. Okay, so there could be a person in the midst that you need to keep a very close eye on. Either with someone that likes getting rises out of people. It just didn't feel like the nicest energy. And you know me, whenever I see something that I need to warn you about, I'm always gonna. So just watch the company you keep, especially with the last week's reading. And then we saw some issues a couple weeks ago. So we're going to hope for a nice wave of positivity this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. Let's get 3 cards here for the lovely Leos to start us off. What's happening for my good friends in mid-January? Thank you. All right, there we go. That's more like it, my friends. We do have the 6 of Wands, beautiful, and that is one of the cards that link to you. So this is a very powerful card to show up in a Leo reading, and that is the type of energy that I would like to see. The switch, the shift. Let's get a couple more. It's a big card of recognition. Okay, a little bit of up and down with the energy we have coming up next. We have the 9 of Swords. So that could be someone else's. Again, it doesn't have to be yours. Let's get one more. What do we have for Leo mid-January? Leo mid-January, please. Thank you. Okay, 4 of Swords. So fire-air combination showing up for you this week, which could be a volatile mixture, of course. I will say this, from the first look here, I feel like this could be a mixed bag of energy where there's most definitely positive, but there's some challenge showing up too. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, I already mentioned it. We have a fire-air combination, and I always look at the elements first because I believe it's very important. Now, these are elements granted as fire signs that we could vibe with. We could work with this, whereas other signs that might have a little more difficulty, for fire signs like us, we could vibe with this. We have the Six of Wands, that fiery energy, and it is literally connected to Leo energy too. Then we have all this air, which is the realm of communication, the realm of thought. So it's like, yeah, we got some positive energy. We have energy calming down, but there's this stress-induced energy right here in the center. And I always mention when you combine fire and air, it can be volatile. Now, that can be good. That can represent explosive energy moving towards a positive direction, but at the same time, there's an unpredictability here. So that's why I'm definitely thinking about that high priestess we saw in the beginning, because with this explosive energy, things could be happening that you don't quite expect. Now let's go through piece by piece and really build it out. Position number one, we're starting with the Six of Wands, one of the best cards in the whole entire deck. Now we see this individual, it looks like they're marching in a parade. They have their laurels. This is a card of complete and total victory. This is a card of like being on top, coming out on top, something swinging your way. I always say it's a big card of recognition, gaining notoriety. This could be when someone recognizes you for the good things you've done or the work that you've done. Could also represent being in the spotlight in one way. So I do think this is a really nice card with a lot of positives to it. But at the same time, every card has challenges when it comes to this. Sometimes it could be an individual you're connected to. It's a little egotistical. Someone that can't admit when they're wrong. That could be a possibility when this card is here. But I don't want to read a negative into a positive. Usually this is really good. I would say in some very small cases, this could be some Leos out there that feel like they're not getting the proper recognition they deserve. Now, moving to the center, we have the Nine of Swords. And I would say you don't really need to be an expert in tarot and symbolism to understand this card. We see this individual, they're up in bed, they got the face in the hands, they're stressing out. So I would say this could represent issues and problems. It could represent anxiety, sleepless nights. So again, whether that's somebody you're connected to, maybe some of you are having some choppy sleep. It doesn't always have to be worst case scenario, but this is most definitely a stress factor. This could be a situation that is most definitely taking a bit of a toll. So it's like we have good energy, but then we have this stress energy sandwiched together with it. Now, I also link this card since it is a nighttime card. It also has a little bit of mystery to it. So aside from all the elements we got going on, watch out for funky dreams in this time. You might be having a lot of spiritual experiences when this card is here as well. That's one of my paranormal cards. Same could be said with this Four of Swords, okay? Because both of these cards do link to the sleep state as well, which is really interesting. So hopefully none of you are having issues in that realm, but it could be someone else, of course. Like they could be stressing to the point where it's hard to sleep. Now, on to the back end, we do have the Four of Swords. And we see this individual, they're laying down. In the positive sense, this is a highly spiritual card. Could represent altered states of consciousness. This could represent deep state meditation, spirituality, praying, connecting with spirit. It's a card of rejuvenation. It's a card of rest. It's a card of repairing things. So I really do think that this is nice. It could be taking a break from something, taking a pause, saying, whoa, 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 let's calm it down here. Things have been a little wild when this card is in the mix. Now, where it comes to the challenge, Four of Swords isn't really moving. It could be a card that represents delays, situations, or individuals that are quite stubborn and not willing to move forward with something. So we're definitely going to want to look at how all this energy plays together, because it's like, yeah, we have great energy, but then when it comes to like someone's mindset, don't think yourself out of stuff. Don't psych yourself out as well, especially with all the mental energy we're picking up in this spread. Someone could be in a bit of a difficult place. But yeah, I want to dive deeper on all of it, Leo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. What is happening for my good friends? Please. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's get it going here. We're going to start in on that Six of Wands. One more good bridge shuffle here. What do we got here? Why is the Six of Wands in the mix? And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Leo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay. Let's get it going here. That's Six of Wands. Thank you. Magician. Beautiful. All right. So I will say this for a lot of you. If you are interested in manifestation techniques, or even if it's something you've never even heard of before in your life, there is an energy of attracting things to you like a magnet that is very possible in this time. So hopefully this is all good stuff. But when I see the Magician, it's like, all right, either you need to start manifesting something, or you kind of already are. You're pulling a lot of things your way. So whether it's good things, whether it's rough things, it's like everything's coming in, everything's coming at you. So I would say, as a cautionary energy, some of you might get a little overwhelmed in the coming days and weeks because there's just so much energy coming in, especially if you're an individual that is energetically sensitive. However, with all that being said, when I see this Six of Wands with the Magician, it's like you got a big manifestation coming in. This is a huge winner victory. So it's like something you want, or something is going to swing the way you desire it to. So it feels good, but we have to be skeptical, especially with the Nine of Swords and the Four of Swords next to it. So it's like, yeah, we're pulling good things in, but what is all this other stuff? Why are we pulling all this stuff in? For another portion of you, the Magician can represent control, aside from manifesting, aside from the magnetism I was already talking about. So Spirit could be saying to a lot of Leos, listen, just worry about the things you can control in this situation, right? There's always going to be things in life that are out of our hands. There's always going to be situations where, I mean, we can't control everything that happens. So Spirit could be saying, if you focus on the things you can control in this situation, Leo, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So again, I get this big victorious overcoming energy here in the front. So we're going to keep it moving. I feel like we don't need to stay there too long. Lots of energy, though. I'm feeling a really strong, intense energy for you this week. But let's see what's up with that Nine of Swords. Why is that here? Both of these cards are like connected to sleep for some reason. So why is it here? What's that Nine of Swords? Thank you. Yeah, there could be somebody, their internal space could be a bit of a mess. That's something I'm seeing here, Leo. And again, it doesn't have to be you, but when I see the Nine of Swords with the Knight of Cups in reverse, it's like, yeah, no, the emotions are up and down, the mind is up and down. This could be someone having a very difficult time. So it's like an interesting juxtaposition of energy, right? Because we have this beautiful, in control, everything's awesome, and then boom, it's like something hits, where it's, whether it is a situation that pops up out of nowhere, like an explosive situation where it's like, all right, everything's topsy-turvy now. Either that, or someone's in a good place, someone is not. All right, now the Knight of Cups does connect to water signs. You might be connected to one, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. If that's not the case, it's a card of, it's usually a Prince Charming energy, a card of speaking, communicating. It shows up often in love readings, so the fact that it's showing up in reverse underneath the Nine of Swords, it's like this person's not really in a great place right now. Now, that is part of life, right? Not what goes up must come down, the good, the bad, the duality of life. So we're kind of seeing it here in a microcosm in this spread, because it's like, yeah, we have beautiful, good, loving energy, but then we have the stresses that go along with it. Let's keep moving. Again, there could be a situation that's either very volatile or explosive that somebody's dealing with. Either that, or this person is not in a good place. Like, it's a bit of a mess. Let's keep moving over to the Four of Swords. We'll see what that has, then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So what is happening with that Four? Maybe we'll get a little bit of a more balanced energy, hopefully. Let's see what's up with the Four, please. Thank you. Yeah. And this could just be someone that needs a bit of a break, or just needs to take the foot off the gas for a time. Where it's like, all right, well, there will be a time and a place where you can fix this, or there will be a time and a place where you could work towards something, but that might not be right this second. The Four of Swords, remember I said it's a card of rest, recuperation. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of effort and putting energy into things. So when we see this card in reverse under the Four of Swords, it's a clear stated, like, all right, you need a minute, or somebody needs a minute. They need a rest. They need a break of some sort, just to let an energy work itself through. Now, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse isn't always Spirit saying like, hey, stop trying. Hey, don't do anything. Hey, stop this right now. To me, it's more along the lines of, all right, there might not be much you could do about something this second. Okay, there will come a time. There will come a time for effort. There will come a time for something, but now might not be that time. Hopefully there's not someone you're connected to where you feel like they're not even trying, or that there's more that they could do. Because the Four of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, it's like, all right, well, this person, they're not even trying, or there's like not much happening. But I feel like it's needed for one reason or another, where either you might need a rest or a break, or somebody else, it's like, just wait a minute, now's not the right time for something. So there's great energy here, Leo. I don't want to be like a downer or a buzzkill. There's really fantastic energies to be had within your reading, but there's still this choppiness. So again, I'm going to say, just like last week, watch the individuals you surround yourself with, especially if you're sensitive to energy. Because if there's people you're very closely connected to going through a very difficult time, that could bleed over to you and you might be feeling that energy. So let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow card. Position number one, obviously the best alignment within this whole entire reading, and I'll take it. We have the Six of Wands with the Magician in the upright. Now, I did say for a lot of you, yeah, this could be a big victory, coming out on top. Now is the time to start manifesting what you do want. Don't manifest what you don't want. Manifest what you want to bring in. Be very purposeful with the universe when you make these orders, right? It's like bring to you what you want, the final result. There could be a big victory coming towards you, but at the same time, with the magnetism, I feel like for a lot of you, you're just bringing various energies in, where it's like, yeah, you're pulling in great stuff, but you could also be pulling in things that are a little frustrating, because in the center, we have the Nine of Swords with the Knight of Cups in reverse. This is somebody that could be a little bit of a mess, because it's like, all right, mentally, emotionally, like it's very much up and down. So this is someone not having a great time. So I would say watch out for explosive, volatile situations. I saw that in Aries last week. Now it's showing up in your reading this week. Either that or there's just someone going through a difficult one. Moving to the back end, we have the Four of Swords with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. A break might be necessary, or time to recharge or recoup. There will come a time where you could start making moves, start making changes, start making action. But for the time being, it's like, all right, well, worry about what you can control in a situation and don't overdo it. You might need some healing when I see the Four of Swords with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. It's like, all right, well, just take a minute, take a second. It's okay. So good stuff, challenging stuff, mixed bag of life, right? But please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my lovely Leos. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. It could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going. What do we have for the lovely Leos? What's in the shadows? Cute. Okay. Seven of Wands. I mean, and this gives us the exact opposite advice of what we have here on the back end, where the back end tells us, like, all right, just take a second, take a second. The Seven of Wands is like, no, keep fighting. So it's like this bizarre energy, whether this is an impulse within you where it's like, no, how can I stop? Or I can never stop. I got to keep pushing. Like for some of you, it might be a knee-jerk reaction like that. The Seven of Wands can be very good because it's a card of determination. So if you are going through some issues or problems, the Seven of Wands is Spirit saying, like, you will get through this. You will fight through this. It's an obstacle, whether it's big or small. It's like you will continue to push forward, and that's a very good thing. But it can also be confrontational. So for some Leos, your fire might be showing this coming week, where whether someone steps on your toes or it's just very fiery and volatile when I see this in the shadows. So you might be a little more confrontational than you normally are, or somebody is. Okay? But I feel like this is good, especially if you're having difficulties. It's like, yeah, just keep trucking, just keep pushing. But yeah, Leo, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details. The January subscriber surprise. If you would like to get a personal reading from me and get a little forecast for what 2025 has in store for you, you can check out my website and digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com to look for availability. But for the January subscriber surprise, we are once again giving away 3 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what is your main goal for the 2025 calendar year? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab as usual, my friends. Much love, and I'll see you soon.